Hey everybody, what's up? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is the High Priestess. I'm also seeing Queen of Swords and Ten of Cups. Using your discernment to cultivate happiness, to cultivate peace. I feel like High Priestess and Queen of Swords are working together, which may mean that usually Queen of Swords is looking at something to assess it. And so I'd say that you could have something going on where you're really trying to tune into how you feel about it and like what that feels like for you, maybe in order to decide something, to assess something, to figure something out. Do I feel happy with it or not? Maybe you feel like something is getting in the way. Having Ten of Cups and having Five of Wands feels like figuring out what you want to do. This can be like a bit of an emotional conflict that you can be feeling, emotional, mental. I think that this also has to do with your life, like in a bigger way as well, because this can be something that feels more definitive within your life. And so choice can be a part of this. I'm not getting the sense of needing to rush to a conclusion. If anything, actually, this feels like if you have a garden, Five of Wands almost feels like a disruption that's happening within the garden. The garden is the place that you enjoy. The garden is the place where basically what you've invested in comes to fruition, and so you get to like be within that, to have that, to experience that. This is the stuff that you've cultivated within your life. Having Five of Wands come up feels like something that's happening in that space, like within your space something is going on, and feeling like this is kind of disruptive, maybe to the peace all around, or to the ability to just enjoy things without there being a problem there, or without there being a conflict, or without there being something that one needs to sort of focus on. This feels like it's bringing the attention to it with the Five of Wands. I feel too like this is going to be a slow cultivating of joy within your life that's happening. Maybe there's just more that you need to see before you can figure anything out. Maybe you don't want to be I feel almost like your peace being disrupted in some way. Having High Priestess and having Queen of Swords, I'd say that this is you being in a spot where you're really tapped in, and Queen of Swords is looking at the Ten of Cups. I almost see a gazing into the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups feels like the internal ideal of things being good, of things feeling right the way that they're supposed to. Now Five of Wands comes in and feels like it's disrupting that. It feels like seeing a picture of a dream, of something that looks like a really happy scene that you can sort of be tuning into here. And then you hear some type of battle in the distance that's occurring, and it's getting closer and it's getting closer. And so it feels like, is this scene going to be ended because this thing is sort of infiltrating? This stuff feels like it's sort of maybe cornering you. And Ten of Cups can sometimes feel difficult to remain in the status of the Ten of Cups, where things feel like good if there's something else that's going on. I'm using the word good like with a general connotation of things feeling desirable, feeling at peace, feeling like stuff is all right. When you have Five of Wands, it's not like a bad thing that's coming up. Five of Wands is just saying this will disturb the peace unless you address it. And so there's a need to address it. But the thing is that it's connected with the Seven of Swords. And so I wonder if this comes through in a more covert way. Why is the Seven of Swords here? And this is something that I feel like could have you like not trusting yourself. Because the High Priestess is going to be your deepest internal knowing. That is your higher self that you're connected with. Seven of Swords can be something that comes through and sort of attempts to undermine that. Some of you, this is connected with another person. And it can be somebody that's like not really thinking right. Because we have King of Swords next to it. But this is like you really needing to use your discernment to suss this out. And I'd say more than anything, making sure that you're doing what you need to do to ground and calm and still. And keep doing, I feel almost like you're like focusing on what makes you happy. And when I say happy, I mean what allows you to feel fulfilled within your life? What allows you to feel a sense of contentment? What allows you to feel happy to wake up in the morning? Or at least that you enjoy your life? Or when things are feeling difficult, that you have cushions around you, you have support around you, and continue cultivating that within your life. It feels like something is coming through that can potentially attempt to disrupt that. And this can even just be somebody around you that's sort of in that space, and then their energy kind of disrupting what you have going on. But keep in mind too that if you keep cultivating the Four of Swords and the Ten of Cups, like you keep basically like minding your business and doing your thing and focusing on what's important to you, this energy will not disrupt you. It will not be disruptive to you, because it can only be disruptive to you if you give it permission to do so. And so maybe you feel like you need to protect your peace a bit here. Because I feel almost like Five of Swords and Seven of Swords is feeling like a twisted energy where it's not just like a direct, here's the thing, figure it out, then it goes away. This feels like some weird way that something is approaching you, or that something is presenting itself to you. And I feel too like it will take you away from your natural state. It will bring maybe some confusion with it. I get the sense of needing to be aware of this. Maybe just so it can kind of lose its power if you're aware of that. Welcoming the change. Yeah, I don't know too much about the Seven of Swords in this setting, but I do definitely feel like it's something that's coming around that can potentially disrupt or disturb your peace. But then I'm also seeing King of Swords here, which feels like King of Swords is almost like being a barrier to protect that from happening. So maybe you're going to need to address something or call it out and say like, hey, I'm not letting this sort of into this inner circle that I have. Like maybe this is an energy trying to come through, getting you to like fight with it or something like that. It's going to be disruptive the way that it comes through, but it's kind of sneaky to have Seven of Swords here too. Like it won't be direct with that. It can be something that brings conflict to the table, but can be, it can be kind of difficult to pin down. Like it can be sort of not obvious about doing it. It's like, it feels like the energy of someone kind of stirring the pot, but then if they're called out, being like, oh, I'm not doing anything. It feels kind of like that to me a bit here. And it almost feels too like maybe seeing you, if you have stuff going on and like relatively things are okay, which it pretty much seems like they are, this is an energy that maybe is coming through to bring some chaos to your doorstep. Keep in mind too that this can be something that's going on mentally. Maybe you have stuff going on where you're like, I'm trying to cultivate peace within my life right now. I'm trying to really center. I want to let other things fall away. I just want to focus. I want to be tuned in. I want to really feel what my heart is telling me. Maybe you have some thoughts that are coming through that could potentially create some static on the line, and then this is going to be something that you deal with. Like if you don't have somebody around you doing this can be your own stuff. It's going to be your own stuff either way. But if this is just you with you, you can see this as some energy that is disturbing the peace in some way. But it can be difficult to isolate how it does this. And so there's going to need to be a very like seeing this for what it is, and I think really taking it apart, because King of Swords is going to be that master of discernment. When Seven of Swords comes around, as long as your throat chakra is clear, this is not going to have any power around you. So it's going to lose its power. This Seven of Swords can be seen as a very powerful magician because it can really twist the mind. But if you are in this energy of the upright King of Swords, this is not going to have power. So this means too, if you're having distorted thoughts and stuff like that, that you are on the receiving end of, in whatever way they're coming through, this is your ability to sort of combat that essentially. I think to really name this and call it out so it just like loses the power, because this is something that hides in the shadows, and that's where its power comes from. This is the type of train of thought that is empowered by fear and ignorance. And so in you being in a place where you can anchor that, the opposite of this, it's going to be something that neutralizes the energy. I think before it gets too deep, it almost feels like something wanting to like sort of embed itself. And King of Swords feels like it's at the gate saying, I recognize what this is. I'm not going to let this be coming in and disturb things. This can also be, you can also see this energy as being your shadow. You can be doing stuff right now where, again, with Four of Swords and with Ten of Cups, this is like, I'm really cultivating joy within my life, happiness, inspiration, the stuff that makes life worth living. Those are the things that I'm doing. I'm following my heart. I'm tuning in. You can be meditating. You can be centering. You can maybe be getting into a good routine, doing stuff that feels restorative overall, and you can feel like the color come back into your life. Seven of Swords can be shadow coming up, potentially doing something that would take you out of that space. And I think seeing what that would possibly be. Like, in what way is it sort of presenting itself to you? Because shadow can also wear masks as well and be like, I'm presenting as something meant to help you, and then it's not. But if you, the part of you that is the King of Swords, this is an incisive, I can really see through that. And so Seven of Swords will not have the power if King of Swords is on paying attention to this. So I just feel like you, as long as you remain mindful, this is not something that's going to gain traction. But it definitely feels like feels like a splinter, and it may not have made contact yet, but it's like getting closer, and so you can like recognize that immediately and do what's necessary. Or if it makes contact, like you're going to have to remove it in some way. But it feels like I'm seeing something here which feels like you don't even have to let it penetrate that. It doesn't even need to get that far. And this can definitely be something that's going on within your own mind. Do I do this? Do I do that? That's popping up here now. What is the right move? And I'd say spend time in stillness. You don't need it. 5 of Wands can make you feel like you need to do something. It can feel really restless the way that it builds up. This feels like centering. This is really going to help you work through this without prematurely taking action, which it feels too like this shadow being like, do it, but it's not time to be doing this. And this can be like something that you're thinking, do I say that thing? It's going to be something having to do with that. And it feels like until you feel decided, you do not need to take action on this. I've been seeing this for a lot of the readings. I think the past 2 days has been, do not be too quick to be doing something. It's better to sit and reflect and then feel confident moving forward rather than feeling conflicted or feeling like an in-between or like, I don't know if I should do this or do that, and then like impulsively jumping to do something and then feeling like stuff gets distorted from there. Everything that you need to know is going to come to you when you need to see it. Just take your time with this. You do not need to jump to action. Just feels like wait to pull any sort of outward maneuver here. Spend time with yourself. And to focusing as well, like Queen of Swords is the part of you that you do work, you think about things, you have conversations, you analyze stuff, you reflect on things. That part of you is in the process of recharging right now. And it feels too like focus on the things that, focus on the love within your life. I feel like we can all encompassing connect the 10 of Cups with love. Focus on that. Because it feels like that's what needs to sort of be in your mind in order to work. You have your heart open, you have your third eye open, just everything is swirling the way that it's supposed to within you, and it feels like it does not allow this energy to gain traction. And it feels like a protective bubble even. Because this is how you will feel like this in your natural state as well. So when you're not feeling like that, things need to be removed. Your natural state is going to be being in a state of wonder and curiosity and interest. And it feels like it's about supporting that, cultivating that right now. And all the things that are aligned with this. And maybe too, you're going to be seeing what's not as well. Maybe your mind trying to like take you down another route and you're like, no, I don't want to go there. I want to keep it over here. All right, my friends, we're going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.